Hey skiers, I'm Jeff from SkiEssentials.com.
I'm Bob. How's it going?
Bob and I are here today on an absolutely beautiful morning at Stowe to test these Rustler 9s. If you forgot or if you didn't know, Blizzard is the sponsor at our November Ski Happy photo contest. So just a few more days to get a photo entered before the end of the month, and you could win a pair of Rustler 9s. So we thought, what better opportunity to come out or what better excuse to come out and ski them and do a little bit of a review. So I just came down one run. We just swapped skis. I'm back on my 104s. Bob's got the Rustler 9s on. We're taking another run with Bob. I'll chase him with the camera, and then we'll meet you guys back in the studio and let you know what we think. Hey skiers, we're back in the studio now. Really nice morning, huh?
Yeah, it was awesome.
It really was nice. It almost actually started getting like spring-like conditions out there. So we had a good some good conditions for testing actually. There were some firm spots, there were some soft spots, there was some granular snow, there was some spring-like soft snow. And these things are just a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Really, really, really versatile all-mountain ski. Just a really, like, I think I say this a lot, but a really even mix of performance characteristics.
Yeah, definitely.
I think this is a really good example of a ski like that. While we're here, why don't we just, like, kind of chat quickly about construction. We have talked about this a lot. If you've watched any of our comparison videos, chances are you have a pretty good sense of what these skis are like. We also did a 2019 Rustler 9 review.
Yeah.
It was a while ago now. It was, like, almost 2 years ago because it was kind of a preview. But great ski. This is the narrowest of the Rustlers. They all kind of share the same construction. They use partial metal underfoot. The 9 has the longest metal, and it also has the least rocker, but we'll get to that when we talk about shape. So full width metal underfoot. It then tapers as it reaches the tips and tails. Bob, there's also unidirectional carbon in the tips and the tails of this ski. So that's unique to the Rustlers as opposed to the bidirectional carbon in the Brahma and the Bonafide and skis like that. So really good blend of materials in here. Wood core, partial metal laminate, carbon. A lot of good things going on in the construction, which translates to really good performance on snow. The shape is fair. Oh, I just got really wet. Whew, that was cold. We skied literally
Still
this
fresh.
pair this morning.
Still fresh.
So, yeah, the shape is, I would say fairly straightforward. Camber underfoot, rocker tips and tails, a little bit more rocker in the tip than the tail, but that's essentially the gist of it. There's not a ton of early taper in these skis, but there's a little bit. It kind of like straightens out through the tip profile, and then same thing through the tail. It's not extended side cut by any means. And they're just a whole lot of fun. So we traded off. I took a run on them, then Bob took a run on them this morning. They pretty much just do everything. I feel like we start with carving a lot, so let's start with carving. Yeah. That's really where you're unlocking this metal. I think, like, I stopped halfway down on a run, and we started talking about the performance, and you were like, I just really like the metal underfoot. Yeah. And it really helps.
Yeah, if you're really gonna drive that tip in, you might feel it, a little bit soft just in that first start.
I actually did it on like my fourth turn this morning. Yep. I wouldn't call it stuffing the tip, but I think I probably gave it a little too much and felt that tip bend a little bit more than I expected. But once you kind of remember that, they'll hold up to aggressive high-speed carves.
Right. And this is a 180, and I would be on the 188 myself.
Yeah.
But it's pretty surprising how stable it is even at that shorter length. Yeah. But yeah, on the groomers, you really feel that metal right underfoot. Yeah. Which I kind of look at this as kind of a Goldilocks type of ski where it has a lot of those blended attributes.
Yeah.
And that's where, the performance and the carving aspect comes in. It's really underfoot.
Yeah, and I think, if you compared it to like a ski like the Brahma, you just have to ski a little bit more balanced.
Yeah.
Like you're not really driving like the forebody of the ski as much. You certainly can. But I think when you're like linking, carving turns, this ski really likes like lateral skier input.
Right.
Definitely some fore aft too, but yeah, if you're just kind of like skiing more in a balanced stance and linking turns with lateral movements, they do that really, really well.
And then in the aft, we had talked about the shape a little bit, but the slightly turned up tail here in the back. So in the aft of the turn, that's going to release easier than in your Brahma.
Totally, and I think that's the whole point of this ski.
Right.
It carves.
They got wet too.
It's cold too. It's funny, it's warm out, but that water really, really surprised me how cold it was. That's kind of what sets the ski apart and what makes it so versatile is that ability to release its tail edge. It can do short pivoting turns really well. We didn't necessarily have any moguls out there today, but I've skied this thing in moguls.
Yeah.
Today certainly wasn't our first time skiing this thing. It's really fun in moguls, especially if you get like some soft snow with the moguls that handles that stuff really well. I just find them to be like refreshingly fun to ski.
Yep.
Like they're energetic, they're poppy. Like if you load up the tail, you can kind of snap off the tail a little bit and get little airs here and there.
Yeah.
I was skiing switch now and then. There's a lot of skis. Like if you think back to the 90 millimeter comparison video, like how many of those would I be willing to ski switch?
A lot of them were pretty flat.
4 maybe, 3 or 4, and this is definitely one of them.
Yeah.
Like to me, it's not a part ski, but if you want to like play around with that kind of stuff and ski backwards now and then, you can definitely do it. I rode the lift up with somebody the other day who had been demoing Rustler 9s, and he lived in like the Boston area, but he's a Stowe skier. Yeah. And he had been demoing the ski for a few years, and he pulled the trigger on it, and I was like, you pretty much can't do much better for Stowe.
Right.
Like if you're going to take one ski around, you can make turns on lift line, like you can ski steep, aggressive terrain, and then you can go hop in the woods, and they're playful and fun.
Yeah, great wood ski, I would say.
Yeah, such a good wood ski. Yeah. And, if you're out west and you feel like you have a little bit more soft snow or deep snow, just bump up to the 10. Yeah. And you're getting a lot of the same versatility.
And then another note on the shape, too, is the 180 and 188 are 94 underfoot, and the shorter lengths are 92.
Yep.
So if you're in that category where you're looking for a mid-90s, but you're a shorter length skier, just keep that in mind that it does bump down in width.
Yep.
But yeah, 17 meter turn radius in the 180 length, it's pretty quick and a lot of fun and a lot of energy.
It surprised me, like when I first, when we got on this ski this morning, my first couple turns, I was like, all right, it's a pretty quick turn.
Yep.
I think if anything, because the tips and tails allow for a softer flex, you can flex it into even shorter turns. So, like one of my first instincts this morning was this almost feels shorter than a 17 meter turn. But then if you're skiing more in that balance, like not driving the tip of the ski and you're just making lateral movements, you can get a true 17 meter turn or even something that feels longer. So, great ski. Anything to add or anything to finish with?
Not particularly. It's just one of those skis that does everything really well, and there's I would have to search really hard to find fault with it. So there's...
Yeah, exactly. I think the only thing that you can really look at is like that tip, the tip bend if you're really aggressively driving a carving turn.
Yeah.
But that's why Blizzard has a ski like the Brahma or the Firebirds. Like that's the intention of those skis where this is more well-rounded.
Right.
So... great ski. Like I said at the very beginning of this video, we're giving a pair away, or rather Blizzard is donating a pair to give away in this month's Ski Happy contest. So just a few more days to enter that. Definitely encourage you to do so. You can win a pair of these skis, and they're awesome.
Yeah.
And then 10 runner-ups will also get like some Blizzard accessories and swag.
Yeah.
So definitely encourage you, when you're sitting around after Thanksgiving and you're on the couch and you can't move, just maybe like scroll through your photos on your phone from last year and enter a couple photos into Ski Happy, and you never know, you might get an early Christmas present, so to speak.
That'd be pretty sweet.
Early holiday present. So yeah, that's it. We're back on snow, obviously, so we'll be rolling out more reviews throughout the season. We've got some pretty exciting test days coming up with certain brands, so you'll see more stuff from us soon. And yeah, we'll see you guys out there on the slopes.
Bye.